Good evening. Saturday, February 1st, about quarter till 10 p.m. East Coast time. What we had been wondering for a while now, what was going to happen once Humpty Dumpty put in his tariffs on Mexico, China, and Canada. Well, now Canada has responded. New statement from Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston on the retaliation to Trump's tariffs. Nova Scotia to limit business in the U.S. Double tolls for commercial vehicles from the United States, effective February 3rd at Cobe Quid Pass. Remove all U.S. alcohol from shelves, effective February 4th. Now, for the last time, and it's still going to pop up, but at least for me, for the last time, tariffs raise the prices. This is a trade war that is not going to end well for anybody. This does not lower the economy. The U.S. does not have the infrastructure to combat that, to sell American products. Pretty much all products that you see on the shelves, whether it be produce, your car, electronics, etc., it all comes from various points in the world. And this is what happens when you're trying to bully other countries to do your bidding. And in this whole process, Canada has not backed off, nor has Mexico for that matter. But, following statement from the Premier Tim Houston, it's remarkable to find ourselves at odds with our best friend and neighbor. It will take thoughtfulness and time, but we will get through this. There are things within our control that we must act on. We must ramp up our focus on finding new markets here at home with programs like Nova Scotia Loyal, focus on developing our own resources, eliminate interprovincial trade barriers, and finally, of course, look for international diversification. We will do things, excuse me, we will do things no matter what. I will do everything I can to protect the interests of the hardworking Nova Scotians and their families. Nova Scotians are my concern. We are anxious to understand the federal government's plan for programs to support Nova Scotians, and we will also do what we can to buy. It's too early to determine exactly what is necessary. In response to U.S. tariffs, the following are the steps we will take. First, Nova Scotia will limit access to provisional procurement for American businesses. We will look for opportunities to cancel existing contracts and will maintain the option to reject bids outright because of President Trump's unlawful tariffs. Second, the cost of tolls at the Cobe Quid Pass will double for commercial vehicles for the United States, effective Monday, February 3rd. Finally, we will direct the Nova Scotia Liquor Corporation to remove all alcohol from the United States from the shelves, effective Tuesday, February 4th. They're not fucking around. They're not fucking around. And there are other things that could possibly happen. There's the possibility of places like Wisconsin, places like New York, pretty much anything on the northern border of the states into Canada, they could possibly cut off their power. Because a lot of the resources that involves, whether it be that, lumber, steel, bunch of things are about to skyrocket. And we do not have the infrastructure to counter this. This isn't automatically going to fall into American businesses. So this is not going to be pretty. For anybody that was talking to you about tariffs throughout the election cycle, you're about to find out why the other person was right. I myself, people that think like me, we're trying to get it to people that things are going to get very expensive if he gets back in office, because tariffs is the most beautiful word in the dictionary. He knows that this is damaging to the economy and to people's pocketbooks, but he has convinced them that he knows all and is going to fix everything by just putting these tariffs on everything. tariffs do not hurt the exporter. It gets passed on to the importer, thus going to the consumers. Is everybody clear on that? There is a plethora of information out there that you can look up on what a tariff is and what it does. Secular moves to put a tariff on something is fine. But when you do across the board tariffs, which is what Trump is trying to do, it's not good for anybody. So this is another example of we told you so. This is probably going to cost you about almost an extra $900. Overall, for a family, it's going to be about $2,600. So the thing that he ran on about lowering prices, it was all bullshit. He did it because they know that you would believe him. I have been obsessed with this provision ever since I found out what it was. I won't go into the business that I'm in, but once I heard what it is, I had to learn pretty fucking quick what it is and what it does. And the effects of these said tariffs showed immediately. So look this up for yourself so you don't get fooled in the future. This is a tax on you, not to the person sending the product. It is a tax on you. Learn, be better, and don't make this mistake again. We all beg of you to do so.